hardly stop to take in the beauty around me. Keeper of life, run along with me. In quiet ways she calls to me, and I stop long enough to take a memory or two along with me. Keeper of life, run along with me. I have come so far, and it is time to leave familiar faces and loved ones behind. How must I do this alone? Keeper of life, run along with me. In my own way, I'm so excited and so scared, terrified of new things I can now see coming closer every day. Keeper of life, run along with me. Many emotions fill my heart, and I know not whether to laugh or cry or jump for joy. Keeper of life, run along with me. Lead me into the light you bring. Show me the life you want me to live. And Lord, Keeper of life, run along with me.
At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Perry Berkowitz, Superintendent of Schools, who will convey to us a few words of welcome.
Officers and members of the Vestal High School class of 1997, members of the Board of Education, administrators, faculty, staff, friends, parents, relatives. On behalf of the Vestal Central School District, I am honored to welcome you to commencement 1997. This week marks the end of my first full year as superintendent of schools for Vestal. It has been a wonderful year. I've gotten to know many wonderful faculty, staff, and volunteers who are dedicated to the mission, standards, and goals we have set for our schools. All of our energies are focused at ensuring that those who graduate from the Vestal Central School District are prepared to meet the challenges of this great new age. We have set our sights high and have attempted to infuse the skills and knowledge necessary for these young men and women who anxiously await their diplomas to compete in an information-driven global economy. We have also been challenged by them. They have been at times impatient, impetuous, inflexible, incorrigible, and incomprehensible. But they have also been loving, caring, resourceful, imaginative, and responsible. In short, they have been easy to love, to work for, and to admire. Often they have sought our advice, our counsel, and our wisdom, and they have synthesized that which we have shared in ways we could not have expected. For example, earlier this year, I asked one of the members of the class of 1997 what he thought I should say at graduation. And he reminded me that Socrates was a great, famous Greek teacher who went around giving people advice. They killed him. I know that student was really trying to be helpful. He went on to say that after Socrates died from an overdose of wedlock, his career suffered a dramatic decline. What better advice could one hope for? Another student told me that she had learned a lot of important lessons about life from her science and health teachers. She thought that I should share some of them with you. We don't have time for all her revelations, but here are some of my favorites. 1, abstinence is a good thing if practiced in moderation. 2, Genetics explains why you look like your father, and if you don't, why you should. And lastly, there are 26 vitamins in all, but some of the letters are yet to be discovered. Finding them means living forever. She has obviously learned some lessons from us. Unfortunately, the lessons we teach are not always the lessons that are learned. Parents, I must tell you, we have challenged your students, and they have challenged us. Of course, we sometimes think your students got some of their most creative ideas from you. To that point, I confess that we don't always know if the absence excuses that were sent to the school over the years were written by you or by your children. I assume the parents who signed some of these notes were sleep deprived and only signed out of the need to survive. Number one, please excuse Ray from school. He has very loose vowels. Number two, and you don't have to stand and identify yourself. Number two, please excuse Jimmy for being, it was his father's fault. 3, Sally won't be in school a week from Friday. We have to attend a funeral. And last, please excuse my son's tardiness. I forgot to wake him, and I did not find him until I started making the beds. Yes, parents, relatives, and friends, it has been our pleasure to challenge your students so that they could learn that their reach can always exceed their grasp, and so that they could dream improbable but possible dreams. A week or so ago, Bill Clinton, speaking at his daughter's high school graduation, revealed that the friends with whom he graduated from high school more than 2 decades ago, who had not realized their every dream, were not as unhappy with themselves as those friends who at that time put their dreams on the shelf. Despite your politics, you must admit that Bill Clinton, in his role as Chelsea's father, makes a lot of sense. He offers good advice. Permit me then to direct a few words of advice to the diploma candidates. About 7 or 8 years ago, Jackson Brown gave his son Adam, who was off to college, a handwritten book in which were 511 enumerated short notes. The notes were intended to be a roadmap for Adam to help him meet the challenges of life away from home and provide some support for those trying times that would lie ahead. The notes were so successful with his son that Brown had them published in a booklet titled Life's Little Instruction Book. The book is still a bestseller, and I would encourage each of you to get a copy. Let me share a few of the notes before I close. Compliment 3 people every day. Use your wit to amuse, not abuse. Read everything clearly that requires your signature. Remember, the big print giveth and the small print taketh away. Do battle against discrimination and prejudice wherever you find it. Remember that winners do what losers don't want to do. Don't ever watch hot dogs or sausage being made. Don't be afraid to say I don't know. Don't be afraid to say I made a mistake. Don't be afraid to say I need help, and don't be afraid to say I'm sorry. When someone hugs you, let them be the first to let go. And lastly, be a leader. Remember, the lead sled dog is the only one with a decent view. In closing, I want you, the class of 1997, to know that I am so happy that I could spend one of your years with you. I hope in my own small way I have made some contribution which has been supportive of every one of you. I hope that the Vestal School community and your family and friends have helped you to be optimistic about the future, and that you see the great promises which lie ahead for you in the next century, the new millennium. I hope all of us have helped you to develop the navigation tools and the conveyances which will steadfastly take you on the path to that exciting future. Jackson Browne wanted to provide his son Adam with a roadmap for achieving a self-fulfilling life. We have wanted to do the same, and I hope and I pray that we have done so. I have been privileged to be a part of your lives through the senior year of your schooling. Congratulations to the class of 1997 and to all your proud parents and loved ones here with you today. I look forward to hearing about the great accomplishments by each and so kind as to allow me the privilege of being part of your commencement day.
Thank you, Dr. Berkowitz. It is my pleasure to introduce our speakers for this afternoon. First to speak will be Nicholas Gaidosh, who will deliver the valedictory address. Nicholas?
Good afternoon, friends. Within the hour, we will conclude our high school experience. High school, with its 4-minute passing time, jammed lockers, hall passes, and homerooms, will be over. And at the same time, we say goodbye to many of our friendly acquaintances, supportive teachers, and coffee house fans, among other experiences we enjoyed during our lunchtime excursions. Look around you. This is the last time you may see some of these faces. If in the future we visit this building, we will not come as students, but as guests, marked with fluorescent green visitor badges. The final bell of our high school experience rings, and now we depart into the amorphous realm of adult life. What is our future, and what is our responsibility in shaping it? Unlike the first 90 years of this century, the final 10 are of relative economic stability and national security. Economic hardship, world war, and social turmoil largely consumed previous parts of this century. Events of the second half of this century were overshadowed by the Cold War, and though it caused nuclear hysteria, it also provided a common cause that rallied our nation till victory at the collapse of the Berlin Wall. From brutal battlefield photos of World War I to blueprints of latest stealth technology, we have grown used to different manifestations of war. But today, Wall Street tells us our economy has revived, and politicians tell us our nation is secure. This change from anguish to prosperity has been captured with the words of our presidents. In the 60s, we were told we have the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. In contrast, last year's presidential year-end radio address told us about the importance of airbag safety. Each president's speech reflects the issues of the times and becomes a roadmap of where we have been and where we are going as a nation. What is our place in the global community? Our world is hardly the wonderful land of Oz, but have we decided our direction as a nation? Do we still have the energy to face a national crisis? We are part of the answer to these questions, because we will soon hold the responsibility for deciding